The future is here. Tired of boring old 3D games, 2D games, too retro? Well, introducing the next generation of gaming, virtual reality. All you need is the brand new MetaQuest 2, PSVR 2, MetaQuest 3, coming to stores near you for only way too much money.
Wow. It was the cheapest one they had at Target. Virtual reality, the future of gaming. Except it came out years ago and it's fine, I guess. For decades, gamers have dreamed of being able to enter the worlds of their favorite video games. Why do you think the Virtual Boy existed? But this video is not a history lesson on every headset ever. I'd rather not make a 2-hour-long recap for another month or so. This is more so a discussion on the current headsets on the market, the games they have, and VR gaming as a whole. And I'm kinda bored right now, so let's start with the games. Oh boy, I wonder what I'll play first. There's so many $30 games to choose from.
Wait, what was the plan again?
We break in, steal his secret Splatoon stash, and bail.
But he's in there right now, isn't he? And it's like 7 o'clock.
It'll be fine. From the looks of it, he's pretty distracted.
But what if we undistract him?
I don't know, murder?
Nah, I left my chainsaw at home.
I guess we're gonna have to be stealthy. Let's make a game plan.
It seems like I'm in a toxic relationship with motion sickness. I would go ahead and discuss it, but I'm just too dizzy. You know what I'm not too dizzy to talk about? Headsets. Nowadays, there are 3 kinds of headsets that rule the market. PSVR, which runs through a PlayStation, the PC VR headsets, Vive and Valve, and the MetaQuest headsets, which don't need to be connected to anything. I should give a quick mention to those crappy VR headsets where you slide in your phone and it plays an immersive video. Wow, it's like I'm really skiing. These are just videos filmed in a way that can be viewed in VR. There's no way to control them or anything. Lame. I have the Quest 2 for 3 reasons. 1, I don't have a PlayStation. 2, I use the worst laptop ever. And 3, just because there's a Quest 3 now does not mean I have to buy it. Meta puts out a new headset every few years. The second one came out the year after the first one's release, and the Pro one came out 2 years after the second. And then a year later, we got the third one. So the Pro wasn't a third one? Well, that one wasn't for gaming, it was for business purposes. Oh, is that why it costs $1,000? The MetaQuest 2 launched at $300, the price of a Switch, and the Quest 3 goes for about $500. PSVR 2 doesn't seem like too much more, only $550, but then you remember you need a $450 console to use it. And then PC VR, that's a mixed bag. The newer ones cost stupid amounts of money, but the older ones you can get for like $150 on eBay. That sounds like a good deal for accessing the largest library of VR games. Maybe I should have done this section before rushing out to Target. Oh wait, never mind.
Alright, so how do we get in?
I mean, we could smash a window.
Nah, too loud. We need to get a wrecking ball and tear down that wall.
Nah, just too obvious. Everybody has, like, wrecking ball protection.
Okay, what about this? We get Owen to hard cut us into his house.
What did you just do? You just made this scene really, really... meta.
You're cutting that out, right?
No. For me, there's nothing like coming home after a long day and being able to sit on my couch and play a video game. It's a nice way to wind down and relax before I need more energy to do something else. Of course, I'm talking about my Switch, DS, and Wii's, because in the case of VR, it's just gonna make you more exhausted. First off, if you have motion sickness, you're guaranteed not to have fun. But even if you don't, it's easy to get headaches, especially if you don't have the head strap adjusted just right. You also have to have a pretty big space for the best experience, otherwise you're gonna feel a bit cramped and you're gonna eventually bump into something. But if you can get past all of that, it still shouldn't be a surprise when I say that VR is not relaxing. Sure, you can find some pretty scenery across the metaverse.
You just said metaverse. We gotta speed this up.
I'm working on it!
But if you're not careful, this scenery can be interrupted by other players, and also, you're still in VR, that's a one-way ticket to Headache Station. And I wouldn't really consider these games, they're more of just hangout spaces and meditation spots. But then there's every other VR game. Most require some kind of physical action, ranging from just moving things around to swinging them at such speeds that you can call it a workout, especially if it's this. This is my main reason for believing that these will never replace traditional video games. While most other video games help you unwind, you're probably going to have to reward yourself with them after a long hard Beat Saber session.
Hey, here's your motion of sickness appeal. Thanks, now I can play my quest.
Did you just poison him?
What? No, I just caught the door and taped it.
Oh.
Alright, he's putting on the headset. It's go time, mask up.
But the best way to prove my point is through demonstration. While there's a good handful of VR games I can talk about, I've chosen 4 to demonstrate different points. That's right, it's time for a VR game commentary anthology.
Alright, he's probably hiding his Splatoon stuff around here somewhere. Just be quiet and don't go over there.
Alright, break on 3. 1, 2.
I see you. I'm gonna catch it, come, I'm gonna catch it. Let's start out strong with Gorilla Tag, my personal favorite VR game. And this community is just so nice and helpful, like this one gorilla who led me straight to a secret map.
But copy is like you copy your body.
Copy is when you shut the f up.
Sorry, I just had to mention Gorilla Tag's amazing community, but that's a topic for a different game. The part of this game I want to highlight is how unconventional its control method is. The only way to move is using your arms and not the joystick. Okay, there, I highlighted it. Now let me talk about the game. Gorilla Tag has 3 main modes, and let me just get the whole slingshot thing out of the way. It's really annoying to have to run and shoot at the same time, but when you do it, it can feel pretty satisfying. Then we have the game's signature infection mode, which is where the tag in its name comes from. When I played, there was this one guy who was just really good, and I ended up spending my entire recording session just chasing him. And just when I thought I finally got him, it turns out there was tag lag the whole time. And finally, we have the assassin mode, where you get one specific player to target. But you've got to watch your back or else you might be the one to get tagged. I really like this game mode, but its one shortcoming is that if you get out early, there's not much to do than chase around and mess with others. And then sometimes your target's just really good at the game, which can be super annoying. It's only fun when I'm better at the game than others, not the other way around.
I don't think it's in here.
If it's not in here, it's probably
Ham!
Great.
It won't be that bad. Look, he's not even doing anything right now. We just have to be quiet and not bump into him.
But what if he takes the headset off?
Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Wait a minute, you hear that?
Did you find something?
Are you deaf? Listen!
Is that what I think it is?
We gotta hurry! Search, search, search!
Take cover!
I'm not sure how to go about commentating this game because I can't actually play the music. Most of the songs are copyrighted, and the screen recorder on the Quest does a terrible job of syncing audio. Some of the time it doesn't even record any audio, it just has me breathing. At least I think that's me breathing. This game shows how game genres that have been seen to only be playable on PC can be translated for a VR experience without being one-to-one ports. This game, of course, translates rhythm games, and I don't really see any other way you can do this. Unless they made like Samba de Amigo V. No way! This is just the ultimate VR rhythm game, especially with the modding community. But since I don't have much to say about it, I'm not gonna linger on it for too long, so let's go ahead and go to the next game, which might get me in a bit of trouble.
I think he's done with Beat Saber.
Ready to go?
Yeah, let's.
I wanna play with some 9-year-olds.
Maybe we should stay back a few minutes.
Rec Room, VR chat for kids because I'm too scared to play that game. This game is important because it shows how people can connect over VR, which has been one of the main selling points being pushed. But there's a lot of children on here, so is this place even safe? No.
You're handing over your kids for Mark Zuckerberg to babysit.
Hateful content, violent content. You just see them with their little glasses on.
No age limit to this. There's absolutely not.
But there actually is an age limit. Many of the top-selling brands warn against kids using the device.
You've heard the N-word?
Mm-hmm.
Like one time or lots of times?
All the time. All the time.
Back the
They spotted bullying, sexual harassment, threats of violence, and more.
Privacy and safety need to be built into the metaverse from day one.
Come on over, kiss me on my mouth.
I ain't going back to prison, man. I ain't going back to prison. Surprise, this is actually a commentary on how messed up the whole concept of a metaverse can be. For some reason, everyone rushes to get their kid into a VR headset and then complain when they're traumatized. But aside from the users themselves, what are kids actually seeing on here that's also bad? Oh no, they're playing a game called Drunken Bar Fight. It has the word drunk in it. Okay, I'll admit, this is definitely not a topic best suited for me, so let's go ahead and move on to our next game. Next up, we have Nico. You use toys and food to draw cats into your house, and then log them into a book and wave them goodbye. This game shows some more relaxing and laid-back side of VR, and how it can still be really annoying and tedious. Wait, why is the tutorial trying to make me do mixed reality? I have a Quest 2, only the Quest 3 can... What? Quick break for mixed reality, but not this crappy black and white pass-through I didn't know was a thing until now. The Quest 3 and the headset that shall not be named have started incorporating much more detailed versions of this. While it can be pretty neat, especially being able to detect objects in the environment, it still looks kinda gimmicky. It can work well for board games and other games where the environment doesn't have huge emphasis, sure, but that's going against the whole purpose of VR, which is to feel fully immersed in a world that isn't your own. Not that I'm saying it doesn't have potential, just look at Alien Vision. It's just that right now, mixed reality games seem like tech demos and side modes. Like in Kitty Collector, at first glance it looks like the game but in your house, but when you actually play it, you realize that you can't actually collect cats. But this is all redeemed because you can pick up the cats. You're adorable.
Is he still playing Rec Room?
Sounds more like VR chat to me.
This is probably his last game before he gets a headache, so that it's either now or never.
What do you want me to do about it?
Go in there and get the games.
When did we get in the house?
Okay, the mixed reality mode is kinda lame. You can't even put the cats on your bed or anything. Moving back to the normal game, I mean, you can pet the cats. While I love these goofy little guys, I'll admit there's not much to do with them until you unlock more stuff. But money in this game takes forever to get, and these items are not cheap. So until then, all there really is to do is collect new kinds of cats. Now each cat does have a personality, but it feels like a lot of the time the personality is, I want nothing to do with you. It's either that, or they just won't leave you alone. Oh, and did I mention this game has hand tracking? I don't know how I feel about this, because I can see I'm petting a cat, but I don't feel like I'm petting a cat. I also could not figure out teleportation, so I was stuck for most of the time in this mode. And I still only have one cat who actually wants to hang out with me. There was even one who just stared at me from outside. What do you have against me? I just wish that I could interact with these cats more, and what would be really cool is if I could get them to interact with each other. Okay, conclusion time. If there's one thing I learned from playing all these games, it's that VR is not trying to completely overtake gaming. That will always be its own market. And I've never really been on the whole metaverse replacing real life train either. The only way I can really see VR improving from here is if the headsets get smaller or easier to control, because putting on that headset is one of the biggest hurdles to wanting to use the thing. But for now, VR can just be its own cool little side thing, and I'm here for it.
Okay, I got it.
I see you.
Is he back on Gorilla Tag?
Is that my Splatoon stuff? I'm gonna kill you guys!
Run!
You can't run!